Good evening, everyone. I am so grateful that you all are here this evening and that you are allowing us to share our gift with you. Thank you so much, Jason. As Jason said, my name is Vision. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the other humans on the stage with me. This is Ali Boyd of Emoji Nation and #Virgo, Rashon Blake, who is with Jabo Arts and also Apostle Jones, and this is our rising drummer extraordinaire, Derick Barnes. And Renovare is going to tell you a little bit about themselves.
Thanks, Nina. As you've heard, we are Renovare Music. We are a 501c3 nonprofit based here in Cleveland. My name is Shasberger, and this is Lalia Mangione. We'll be sharing a little bit more as the evening unfolds about the kinds of work that we do in the community. But in everything we do, including this evening's collaboration, our mission is to love our neighbors ourselves, affirm the value of all people, and cultivate reconciled communities. And we're just delighted to be sharing the stage with Vision this evening.
Thank you. So we're going to do something a little different to start off. I am a firm believer in connection and calm and being present in exactly where we are. See, there's a whole outside world that happened before we got here, but we are here, and we are here together. So we're going to take a small, short moment. If you are comfortable, please close your eyes, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths together at one time. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much in sharing that moment with me. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my first poem. First, the first group of poems are going to be a little bit about me, okay? And my poetry, like life, has a few ups and has a few downs. But what I'm hoping is that as you listen, you also hear the healing that came through some of my downs, as well as the vulnerability and my openness, because I'm going to get a little real up here, okay? But hopefully that may inspire more vulnerability and more openness with each other. My first poem is called Note to Self. I managed to teleport my 12-year-old self here. Isn't that cool? Tamara Garner, everyone. Yes. It is meant to honor the inner child. And as I stand in front of you, a fully grown adult, becoming an even more seasoned adult every single day, I am such an adult that my joints let me know when it's about to rain. I am such an adult that when I walk into a room, I gotta sit there for 5 minutes and remember why I even walked in there, right? But there is still that inner child that needs to be nurtured and life needs to be spoken into. So you will hear my conversation with my inner child. This poem is called Note to Self. Dear 12-year-old Nyla, well, here we are, intertwined together through the miracle of creation. The passing of decades allows space for our evolution and change, but never for our separation. Sometimes when I look in the mirror, I can still see your face smiling back at me, reminding me that no matter how many years have passed, I can never run away from the little girl that's inside of me. I mean, not that I necessarily want to. Your survival is the reason why we still exist. And while you may be confused about the chaos happening around you right now, the joyful moments are not to be dismissed. See, we sometimes like to throw away everything because of moments we think no longer serve us anymore. But it's in those moments that our power is formed inside out from our core. I sometimes miss and envy your innocence, even though I know it still lives within me. But its purity has been tested by harsh realities and the imperfections of humanity. I wish I could tell you that life would be easy, but that would be the biggest lie ever told. But every scrape, every scar, every dent we received formulated us into this beautiful mold. See, Nyla, even in the storm, you have to remember, we came from women that walked and breathed in their power, and you will embody more and more of their essence with every passing hour. They carried the moon in their wombs. The sun and stars resided in their eyes. They sustained many lives from oceans that flowed from their breasts. Their body cycles track the passing of time, and little bits of each and every one of them are sprinkled in the fibers of our DNA. We, my dear, are their wildest dreams manifested when they knelt down at night to pray. So while your journey will not be easy, you are built for all that comes into your path. No weapon formed against you, my dear, shall prosper, and know that the painful seasons will not last. And as you walk more and more in your power, some will come and try to dim your light, for they will not understand the complexities of you due to the simplicity of their mind. See, the more lights you shine, my dear, the more shadows you will cast out. But only then will you see who else has a light that you cannot live without, and they will walk with you. Their light will brighten your path on your darkest days, and your lights joined together will light up the whole world like it's been set ablaze. But what I really want you to understand, Nyla, is that it all begins and ends with you. You cannot love anyone else fully until you completely fall in love with you. So fall in love with simply everything, even this awkward stage that you're in. Because if you don't, you end up trying to please everyone else just to have a semblance of love from them. And do not give anyone anything that you will not first give to yourself. Do not put everyone else's needs first while putting your own needs on the shelf. Take time to learn who you are and the power of your beautiful mind. You have the ability to manifest your dreams into reality as our thoughts travel faster than light. So manifest as much as you can. Take the boundaries of what you can do. Your name means the one who succeeds, dear Nyla, so that is what you are going to do. Now we'll end this memo because we all know I can be long-winded, but I am always here to give you a helpful word and help you chase away the fears. Because fear is only meant to keep you safe, not to control your existence. Surrender to the power of the unfamiliar and let down your walls of resistance. And don't forget the little things like praying and making your bed every day. And stop with the negative self-talk. It's just a learned bad habit anyway. And the things we did for survival then, we have to leave that behind. Because survival strategies are only meant to escape demise. They are not meant to be a way of life. I pray that you heard me today. You are the key to the balance of so much. You have so many experiences to look forward to and so many lives to touch. And know that I am not far. I will take time to nurture you every day. And no matter how many days, weeks, months, or years pass, I am only a thought away. Sincerely, 42-year-old Nyla. Thank you all. I recently saw a quote, but there was no author listed. It read, "Sometimes among us are the ones who smile through the silent pain, cry behind closed doors, and fight battles nobody knows about." My next poem, Check on Your Strong Friends, addresses mental health issues and concerns. 1 in 5 Americans experience a mental illness in a given year, and sometimes it impacts those that we least expect. So let's all be compassionate and kind to each other, because we never know what another person is going through. It's called Check on Your Strong Friends. I mean, it kind of just crept up on me from out of nowhere. Slowly but surely, like thick cold molasses oozing its way from a frigid jaw. Moment by moment, day by day, the joy I once knew began to elude me, slipping further away from the corner of close and closer to the intersection of but yet so far. But see, this emotional opponent is not unknown to me. It has, without an invitation, visited me before at other times. With no regard to the energy it takes or the destruction it makes, it has found a place in the only space in this whole entire world that is truly mine and that is in my mind. And depression ain't trying to make no good impression. It has no boundaries and has no chill, and it does not wait with its wayward ways. It's there waiting for me from the moment I wake. It places its weight at the start of my day when I'm just trying to find my way. So I pray, because everybody needs me. I got fires to put out, tall buildings to leap. There is no such thing as taking a pause for the cause that is me. I got to strap on my superwoman cape that's been passed down to me from my ancestry, along with a mask that is custom made just for me. Each one contoured specifically to conceal, not heal, the scars my soul can feel so deep but the naked eye cannot see. And even though I try to forget them after all this time, painful memories come back and replay themselves over and over again in my mind. I fight to stay present, but invisible ties keep me mentally traveling back in time to people and places and things that changed me. Now I'm off creating fantasies about how life would be if things had went down differently. I guess I'm still waiting on God to grant me that serenity. But would I even recognize it if He gave it to me? So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my reality. And the survey says I cannot let reality show. I gotta make my face ready to face the world with my superwoman cape on and my matching mask and toe, because being secretly depressed is fine. But when it shows, now I'm just a black woman who's angry. But now it's starting to feel like this faking until I make a facade has evolved into a destructive way of escaping. So I just keep hiding the fact that I can't manage my life, my home, and my emotions. I just keep showing happy, smiling posts of all my productivity, knowing deep down inside I can't feel a thing. I'm just checking off boxes and going through the motions. I have somehow managed to get lost in my own body. I want to run away from myself, but there's nowhere to go. Convincing everyone that I am on cloud nine, but I'm really just lost in the fog, praying that nobody knows. I simply want to feel again, dance in the rain again, taste, touch, and smell everything that I do. Swim, flow, and backstroke through the waves of life, instead of feeling like I'm drowning in a cesspool. But how does the one who's the life of the party admit that they're dying and slide nice and slow? How do I admit that I have mentally slipped so far from grace when I'm the one who's everybody's hashtag goals? But perhaps everyone else doesn't matter, because I'm the only one that has to live with me. I've been running from myself for so long and I'm so tired. This is not the way I want my life to be. So I may have to step away from the lights and the cameras and the action for a minute, because truth healing ain't posted on the gram, nor is it televised. It ain't pretty, it ain't sexy, or for all us to see, so viewer discretion will be advised. And then I will remember how powerful I am. Learn how to set my mind and soul free. Put on my superwoman cape one more time, but this time, the person that I will be saving will be me. Thank you. This poem I wrote years ago to honor those whom we've lost to addiction. I lost my brother to addiction a few years ago, and it almost broke me because, see, I am a fixer. All that comes into my path, I'm trying to fix it. And being a care provider for someone who is fighting and losing a battle with addiction is hard. It's like holding sand in your hands and watching it continue to slip through your fingers, and you can't control it. But once I realized that I came into the reality that I never had control, and that saved my life. This poem is called reality. Sometimes when I close my eyes, I can still see your face. I can still see your eyes so vividly, filled with the childlike innocence that shone through past all the pain I knew your heart had felt. I can still hear the hidden messages in your words that I still spend time attempting to understand and dissect, holding tight to all the little moments as I try to wipe away all the pain of the hand called existence that you had been dealt. But the fact is, all we have is reality. Asking myself what happened and how did you get to a point that you couldn't fight anymore? But I guess that would be a moot point at this point. And I would sit and watch you, make promises to you that I realize now that I had no place in this world to make. And perhaps I knew I was being hypocritical by saying that I understood that I was powerless, because I watched your life become more and more unmanageable. But yet I would analyze and strategize about what I could do to fix it and go so far as to ask God what were the next best steps for me to take. But the fact is, all we have is reality. I have accepted the fact that you are gone, at least I think. But even after a period of time, at least a couple of the 5 stages of grief come back to visit me yet another time. And I truly appreciate and accept the phrases that people have said, like, hold on to your memories. They're not gone. They are always alive in your heart. And while I know that this is true, there is a part of me that stays frustrated with the fact that thoughts of wishing you were still here still consume my mind. But the fact is, all we have is reality. And the reality is, most of your life I watched you struggle to exist in a world that never seemed like it was a right fit for you, where fitting into the world around you was like attempting to step in, walk in, and run in shoes that were too big or too small for you. And while I cannot lie, I tried to be present in every moment, time, and space that I was blessed to have with you. I couldn't help but drift off into a dream world of a different life my mind's eye created for you. But the fact is, all we have is reality. And I bore the burden of watching you stumble and fall at times. I watched you from up close and I watched you from afar, praying that it would be the absolute last time. Watching you lock yourself back in your self-imposed prison yet another time, feeling like I had lost you as I stood right by your side. Because the fact is, all we have is reality. And I wasn't quite sure how much longer my heart or your body could last after all you had put it through the last time. But I truly and sincerely understand that it's only by the grace of God that goes I. Because on any of those given days that I too strayed and I too played and I too lingered in places I should not have stayed, any of those could have been my final day in time. So I will battle and defeat my pain. And through my own healing and battling of this disease, I will forever honor your name out loud and in my mind. Bring myself to a place where I smile in remembrance of you, because you were so much more than meets the eye. Because the fact is, all we have is reality. And as I stare down at what you left for me to hold that I once perceived to be the shattered pieces of my world and my reality, I now see are like puzzle pieces you left for me that I must piece together to understand what God wanted me to perceive. And while with the loss of you went a larger-than-life piece of me, there is a strength I have found in myself to stay strong. Part of what came from the love that you gave to me. Because the fact is, all we have is reality. And I will ask God to grant me the serenity to accept that the fact that you being gone is something that I cannot change. But I will change the things within myself that I can, and pray for the wisdom to focus on the beauty of everything that I learned from you. Every smile that I received from you. Every conversation and every laugh that I shared with you. And on God, I will lean on this journey to empower myself and others to keep our minds, bodies, and souls clean and just enjoy the moment. Each and every moment. Just for today. Because the fact is, all we have is reality. And one of the things that I found that helps us stay sane is staying present, right? Not thinking about what might happen, what could happen, what happened a long time ago, but staying present. This next poem honors the present. See, as an artist, I have a superpower. And my superpower is being in one place and my brain being completely somewhere else. But what does that cause? It causes anxiety. Me arriving at work and thinking, did I leave the teapot on? No, how beneficial is that? Let me stay present. I know I turned the teapot off. So this poem is called Present. It's still today. No need to think about tomorrow. I am just going to sit here and sip my coffee, and I will focus on tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, tomorrow will be today, and I will not think of that day. I will not think of yesterday. No fretting over what I did not do, because there's simply no going back in time. I will not rush. I will not stress. I will just be and do my best. All is fine and will be done in due time. Don't eat the whole day in one bite. Nibble on each moment and breathe in between. Drink in perhaps if you want a cup of coffee, or perhaps if you prefer a cup of tea. See, the source of our anxiety lies in a reflection of moments that are gone that we cannot give back. Erase it all from your mind and drink in the moment that you have. We rush through seconds, we plow through minutes, we blink and scroll entire hours away. Can't figure out how the milk I bought was sour. I could have sworn I just bought it yesterday. We wake up in the morning, then blink twice and we're getting ready for bed. Stop, drink some tea, and pick up a book you have not read. And don't forget to breathe. Wake up, go to work, but first stop and smell a flower. Go to the gym, go to the mall, but maybe just stare at the sky for a half an hour, because you do have time. Post no pictures. Do not scroll. Do not ask Google anything. It will take you down a long, winding rabbit hole. As for me, I'm just still sitting here, drinking my coffee, while I do not forget to breathe. I have not moved from this spot. Willie, where do I have to be? See, we seek invisible, non-existent validation by being inexplicably busy, bragging about how much we do while we are still unfulfilled and empty, priding ourselves that we are winning an imaginary race. Then we look down on ourselves when we cannot keep up the pace. We spend dollars while chasing dimes. We are killing ourselves on a quest to survive. Even the earth rests. I am rebelling because I am tired and I don't want to rush anymore. So I'm not. I'm just going to sit here and finish this last sip of coffee while I do not forget to breathe. What will I do in the next moment? I'm not even going to think about that right now. When the moment comes, we'll see. Stay present, everyone.
Thank you so much. As Rebecca said earlier, my name's Lalia, and as Renovare Music, we play about 80 concerts and chapel services a year. And most of those events happen in spaces where you wouldn't otherwise find live music, or at least not on these instruments. Spaces like prisons, homeless shelters, refugee centers, and hospitals. And this next piece that we're gonna play, we've played in many of those settings, and we thought fit very nicely with Vision's poetic selections. So here is Hirono Borter's Tango Nostalgia.
Fun fact, when I met Lalia and Rebecca, it was so interesting because I had once played the cello and my sister had once played the violin. That was so cool. Thank you all. So, in my day life, I work in the field of Black maternal and infant health. And so this next poem that I'm going to do, well, the next set of poems are actually, they're a dedication to my people and some of the things that I've seen them experience in this country. The first poem I wrote that I'm going to read is called Thoughts of an Unborn Black Child, and it is to raise awareness about Black infant mortality. In the state of Ohio, a Black baby is almost 3 times more likely to die than any other race. And I wrote this poem to raise awareness and to be a voice for the voiceless. This poem is done in the voice and from the perspective of the unborn baby who simply wants to be born. It is called Thoughts of an Unborn Black Child. I was manifested in divine darkness, the result of a small life germ's instinctive quest into the abyss. Its sole purpose was to create my life, marking the exact moment in time I came into existence so that I can just be. My purpose has yet to be known to me. Every moment that passes is solely meant for me to manifest all the pieces of me that I will need to become a reality. My ability to perceive has been ingrained in my DNA since the day I was conceived. Keen senses allow me to pick up on my surrounding vibrations automatically so that I could just be. My heart beats to the rhythm of the universe that surrounds me. And while I have yet to walk and while I have yet to talk, don't ever for a moment underestimate me. For I will exemplify and personify traits passed on to me from ancestors that have born and died centuries before there was even a thought of me, also that I could just be. But why now with all the modern technology am I only now an endangered species? Is there something in the water that my mother drinks or the food that she eats or the fact that she works long hours trying to secure a safe place for me to sleep? Or is it the fact that no matter where she goes, in a country that has never quite felt like her home, she never fully feels the ease, or her soul is not quite so easily deceived, but she presses on so that I could just be. But now the manifestation of my actual existence has been prematurely met with resistance. The womb in which I am growing in has been stained from injustices of this very society. Branded by the blood of our ancestors, she walks in a constant state of stress that she cannot quite touch with her hands, but weighs on every fiber of her being on a cellular level, microscopically. But the weight is getting heavy, heavier by the day. Heavy like an albatross around her neck, like shackles around her feet, controlling her steps in a world that can't quite understand her pain, so they simply act as if they are not aware. She strives to not only live but succeed in a society that does not understand her day-to-day struggle, so they simply act as if they are not aware, but she presses on so that I can just be. But my hope is that I can just be, that I can grow warm and safe in my divine darknesses for as long as need be, not to arrive into the light of the day prematurely, so that I have the greatest chances of growing into the godly being that I am meant to be, and possibly be the change that the world needs to see. Please help the world see, because this race will only be won to the strong and the ones who endure to the end. But we must look quickly at the faded pictures of the broken glasses around us in order for our souls to truly mend. Heal ourselves from the inside out so that we could be whole again, because we were never three-fourths of a man from the beginning. No longer a need to pretend. So, please help us and save me. Don't walk away. There's so many more of me. Just stay woke so you can see there'll be no more us if there's no more me. Please help end Black infant mortality. We need infant vitality so that we all can just be. So I became a single mom at the age of 19 to a black son in a country that does not fully honor his existence. And the job as black mothers and as a community to continue to remind them of their power is endless. My prayer always is that he feels, hears, and sees the love of higher power over anything else. And he's right there. And he's probably going to be a little embarrassed right now, but it's okay. Hi, Najee. This poem is called God's Son. Sometimes I feel like I owe you an apology. An apology for the fact that you came into this world during a time when I was lacking this direction. See, my love was mistaken and my innocence was taken, and this legal fornication was not real love, but merely an indiscretion. See, my unfulfilled need for a male's embrace put me in a 40-week race to learn everything it is I need to know about how to raise a godly man. And while I popped prenatal pills and did everything I had to do to go to battle just for you, my other half dropped his sword, his shield, and his staff, and then he ran directly into the bosom of fear where he stayed. Now trust me, son, this is not at all what I wanted for you. And I always did very well in school, and I know that I was listening in math class when they said that 1 plus 1 plus 1 equal 3 and not 2. But here we are, just the two of us, with no stronger love than the love that is shared between the two of us. But know that it is in love when I push you, son, for the need for you to turn from the godly prince that you are to the godly king that you will one day be, where the quickness is indeed a must. And you're not as alone as you might feel at times, because in God you must learn to trust. And I wish I had a magic potion, but I don't. A magic potion to remove the stigma that will be placed over your head because you are a child of a single mother. Or a magic potion to remove the pain I know your soul must feel at times because you came into this world looking for two, and you found me, but you did not find the other. But I would be setting you up to be a loser if I allowed you to use it for an excuse, if to one moment argue for any of your limitations. Instead, I push you twice as hard because the whole entire world is watching you. So you must exceed any and all expectations. The expectation that you'll be rotting in jail instead of peaceful graduating from the top of your class from Yale. The expectation that you'll be robbing a variety of businesses, lest I say you're already trying to figure out how to start your own business. The expectation that you will have no real love for yourself and no real love for any other black man. No, son. I will put you in the environment with other black men who love you and legitimately feel the need to see you succeed, and then the eyes will see that the actions of your father do not match the actions of every black man. Just know that he loves you. He just don't quite know how to show you. Block it out when you think you cannot do it. Block it out when you feel the need to run. Block it out when you feel less than adequate. Block it out because you are God's son. Yes, you are Najee, which means friend of the Creator. You are the cream of this whole entire planet Earth, its creator and its maker. So you cannot be any less than adequate in life's race because you have the Almighty on your side. For surely he whom thou befriendest, most surely will not be disgraced. So I guess, in fact, no apology is necessary, because your journey will be better than good or great or ordinary. Your journey will be revolutionary. Yes, you may be raised in a single-parent household, but you are the divine child of God. So I make it real, because it's what I know and it's what I feel. I etch it in stone by placing in the words of this poem that everything you touch, my son, from here on out will indeed turn to gold.
As we were planning this evening's program, and Nyla was sharing with us some of the poems and themes that she wanted to share with you all, this middle part of this program that shares voices particularly from the Black experience in America brought to mind a particular violinist who we have the privilege of working with out at Grafton Correctional Institution. And we couldn't bring him here tonight to be on stage collaborating, but we thought that his voice would be a beautiful addition to this part of the program. We have the honor as Renovare to teach a weekly class at 2 different prisons where the residents are learning to play violin, viola, and cello. We have about 30 musicians right now between the 2 institutions. And one of the violinists out at Grafton has also written and released a hip-hop album since being incarcerated. And with his help and his blessing, we've had the pleasure of getting to remix a couple of his songs, whereby some of the original instrumentals that are in the track get removed, and then we play those live in real time, and therefore virtually get a chance to collaborate with this artist. And we're delighted to be able to share one of his songs with you this evening.
His name is William Travance, and he asked that we share this note from you. So this is from William. I am thankful for the opportunity to have my music presented to you all. The first verse came in a moment of self-reflection that was directly related to my current environment, which is a place where I have crafted a mental space of solitude and seclusion. It is an expression of the cause and effect that has created the socioeconomic plight of African Americans. The second verse expounds on this social construct, its history, subjugation, and discard of Pan-African life on a global scale. The inspiration came from a well-crafted piece of fiction titled Little Bee by Chris Cleave. Being that all fiction relies on some fact, a seed was planted and some research had led to facts about the mining of precious metals and minerals in Nigeria. It is my hope that these lyrics provoke contemplation and conversation, and that you are just as moved by the rhythm and melody. Also, William asked that we dedicate this song to his dear friends, Demetrius and Mika Lewis, who are celebrating an anniversary. So happy anniversary from William Travance.
Here's Blood Runs Black.
I see the cowardice dwelling within the hearts of men. Found the first within myself and deemed it ignorance. The cost of living's tuition is that you pay attention. So many go to the grave, leaving indecision. Some say the road to hell is paved with the best intentions. I say the road to hell is paved with the justice system. Rather see us enslaved than see us self-sufficient, or in a position to see ourselves and make a difference. Take a vision and bring our dreams to fruition. Take a vision and bring our dreams to our children. Diagnose our condition as being self-conditioned. Poverty and psychology is self-afflicted. Stereotypical images keep us depicted as degenerates, recidivists, recipients, as if acquitted. Original sin that was committed. From manacles to mechanisms, we still on the fringes.
And it runs, and it runs.
And the blood runs black.
And it runs, and it runs. And the blood runs, and it runs.
Still the blood runs black.
And the blood runs black.
I see our degradation weighing on the global scale. Corporate scale, profiteering more than global tale. Turn Nigerian villages into oil fields. Massacre the indigenous, no one to tell. Leave no witnesses, erase the corporate trail. Cost of doing business, another oil spill. Arm the mercenaries, fund the warlords. BP, British pound, bomb behind the sword. Behind the walls, behind the halls. Robber bands running drills for that oil. I hear the screams dating back to Leopold. Do your history, we seen these things before. Those are colonized, still colonized. Using miners as miners up in the diamond mines. Gold mines, and some of mine, soul mine. The same sin that stole us off the coastline.
And it runs, and it runs.
And the blood runs black.
And it runs, and it runs. And the blood runs, and it runs. Oh, the blood runs black.
The majority of U.S. history, when we talk about terrorism, we talk about riots and violence, it is white violence against blacks. Okay? The paramilitary
So my next poem is called Word to My Brother. Anyone ever feel like sometimes male and females have communication differences? Or is it, I thought I might not be alone in that. I don't always feel like we're engaging in the conversations of appreciation for each other. After all that our ancestors endured for us to still be here. So I wanted to do my part, and I interviewed various women so that we could collectively share at least a portion of how much our brothers are loved, heard, seen, valued, and respected. This poem is called Word to My Brother. Excuse me, my brother. Can I have a moment of your time? I had some things that I wanted to share with you that have been weighing on my mind. See, lately I feel like we spend so much time just hustling for another dollar and for another dime. It's like we two tired ships passing each other in the day and the night, when deep down inside both of us can feel that something is not quite right. Now see, my first prayer is that this conversation go peacefully, because I truly want what's best for you and what's best for me. I'm just looking to bring some relief to this deep-seated grief that sometimes makes its manifestation and release when you deal with me. Now I'm not pointing fingers at you, nor am I pointing fingers at me. Because see, this dark abyss called distance began its existence long before there was a you and a me. See, we suffered years of horrid atrocities, designed strategically to tear us apart, leaving pain in so many of the spaces that I used to occupy in your heart. But see, I was made directly from your ribs so I can feel your pain. And I wish that I could remove your shame. But it was because you were just that great that they had to work just that hard to try to tear you down. But that left me all alone in the wilderness when all I really needed and wanted was you around. I watched the world pretend like life was not hard for you. You know you don't get cramps every 28 days like I do, but you have spent the last 400 years in a country that fears you. So they tried to kill you because they know that your presence in my life is mandatory. Then they flash lies all across the 5, 6, and 11 o'clock news, pretending that is your only story. You're told you're wrong if you feel too much, or you're wrong if you cry. Even if someone walked out of you and never so much as told you why, the world just wants you to dust yourself off and just get strong. I watched you struggle to teach yourself things and no one took the time to teach you. Then you caught hell when you got it wrong. And I have not, and nor have I ever, expected perfection from you on any day that I live. I just get frustrated holding all the love that I have inside of me that I for no one but you, but I wish to God that I could give. Come on, black man, I just don't see you in my past, I see you in my future tenses. Curled up on a little black couch with 2.5 little black kids in a little black house surrounded by little black picket fences, showing us what this is gonna look like when we are all done. But you cannot fade to black at the end of an act like I am no one. Because there is no one in this whole entire world gonna love you like me. But never under the cover of darkness, because black love is a stolen birthright that the whole entire world needs to see. Just know that I am here and that I can see you. Love you through only imperfections like only I can do. Because the truth is, I'm just trying to figure it out too. But I won't hold you, my brother. I just wanted to chat with you for a second. Oh yeah, before you go, I did just want to tell you that I love you. Thank you, Derick, for your double duty of acting and drumming. Oscar goes to. So, my next poem is called Dear Sister. For some, to find a friend and a sister is the furthest thing from their mind. But most women are scarred, as I once was. But they truly crave a bond from another woman despite the circumstances having led them in that direction. So I wrote this poem to my sisters to encourage them that sisterhood is real. And in all reality, sisterhood actually saved my life. So I pray that all women who may struggle in the realm of sisterhood keep their hearts and minds open Sisterhood is a real thing. Dear sister. Dear sister, I need you to know how much I love you. So just please have faith in me. I know so many have let you down before, but no matter what, you can always turn to me. See, there is an unspoken bond between us that only we can feel and see. But sometimes it can be hard for us to trust each other because we've been divided so intentionally. Pulled apart, placed in categories, based on complexion, hair texture, even our shape and our size. But we have to choose to ignore how society rates us and keep score on our beauty because we are a prize. I'm amazed at how alike we are, no matter how different we may seem. Because every time I talk to you, my sister, I learn we have some of the same insecurities and dreams, and I know that for some, the dream of sisterhood was deferred long ago, betrayed by someone whose love was tainted, so now doubt consumes your soul. But if you just open up your mind to this divine love, it will take you in its warm embrace, reminding you once again that your sister is a safe place. See, her heart had once been broken into some of the same place as yours, so she can feel, hear, and sense your pain in a way you could never see before. And then she will suddenly appear when you don't think you could go on another day. She would just wrap you in her arms, and then somehow you find the strength to move mountains and their falling boulders that almost took your life. But then you use those boulders as a step to lead you to your purpose and to your light. Sister, I will listen to you when you feel unheard, cover you when you feel unprotected, remind you of your beauty and your worth in the moments when you feel rejected. And I will listen to you when we make a mistake, because we all deserve mercy and grace. And I will never see you as my competition, because this life is not a race. And together, we will learn all the things that we were never taught. Heal from this racial and generational trauma. And when the battles that our ancestors died for when they fought, because life, with even just one good real sister, will take you further than you can ever believe. But you don't have to wonder. I am here with arms wide open for this unbounded sisterly love. So be ready to receive. Sincerely, with love, your sister.
Another voice and perspective that came to mind as we were planning this concert is featured in this next song, which we had the privilege of writing with a group of women last summer. We use a form of songwriting called documentary songwriting that allows us to sit down with a person or a group of people and write a song based on a scene from their life, whether or not they have any particular musical background. And last summer, we got a chance to write a song with a group of women who were going through a recovery journey at the Jordan Community Resource Center. And there they used the image of crossing over the Jordan River to talk about where they find themselves in their particular journey of recovery. And so we wrote this next song with them, Journey Through the Jordan.
Standing in the rain, no shoes on my feet. I was scared with no direction, treading through the water I once was drowning in. Now I emerge into a new land.
Trafficked in the streets, I had prayed for months for God to show me the way. Police picked me up, the court sent me to treatment, so I follow in God's way.
lost for so long, no way to go but up, struggling through the murky waters, starting to cross over Jordan, finally see the light, step by step, ask, seek, knock.
Waiting for my plane, passed out before boarding. I woke up in the ER, and it wasn't the first time. I know it was God who was waking me up. Been lost for so long, no way to go but up, struggling through the murky waters, starting to cross over Jordan, finally see the light, step by step, ask, seek, knock.
At home in the dark, drinking, taking pills, hurting everyone, so afraid. I wanted to die, but asked God for help. Now I have freedom. Been lost for so long, no way to go but up, struggling through the murky waters, starting to cross over Jordan, finally see the light, step by step, ask, seek, knock. Drinking by myself, I could not quit. Had an old school landline, knocked it on the floor. The operator sent help, those angels brought back my faith. Been lost for so long, no way to go but up, struggling through the murky waters, starting to cross over Jordan, finally see the light, step by step, ask, seek, knock. Been lost for so long, no way to go but up, struggling through the murky waters, starting to cross over Jordan, finally see the light, step by step, ask, seek, knock.
No way to go but up, struggling through the murky water, starting to cross over Jordan, finally see the light, step by step, ask, seek, knock. Been lost for so long, no way to go but up, struggling through the murky water, starting to cross over Jordan, finally see the light, step by step, ask, seek, knock.
So, thank you, ladies. So, the next set of poems are all about love and relationships. Sometimes, after a relationship, my hair is doing what it wants to do, and I think it's messing with the mic right now, so give me 1 second. Okay. Sometimes, after a relationship, it can be very easy to demonize the other person. Has anyone in here ever done that before? But if we take a moment and focus on the purpose of our relationship journey, of that portion, and what it was meant to teach us about ourselves, how that could impact how we see and treat each other after a relationship ends, and how that can be with all of humanity. I'm going to actually request the help of my brother, Adam Spells, for this poem, please, and thank you. The poem is called Love Redefined. This is where we are. I never thought that this is a place that you and I would ever be. See, the promise of us held so much power and made us forget that we were ever just a possibility. We were more than just this perfect image of the personification of Black love. You were my best friend. The person I turned to when everything was in alignment, in a time when absolutely nothing else made sense, and now that has come to an end and I can barely breathe. Because when you took your love, you took your air, and I've been lying to myself saying that I don't care. I just refuse to cry over someone who could just walk away so freely, start anew so easily, treat me as if the time we spent was obsolete, throwing the child during our tribulations and trials and admit defeat. If you give up, then I give up too. Because I refuse to look like a fool being the only one fighting for me and for you. I was your rib, and I always guarded your heart. But now you run from me back to the world that tried to take you down from the start, and while it hurts, it helped me see you so much more clearly. You never valued me or the love that I held so dearly. You wanted so much space during some of my darkest days, and all I really wanted was to have you near me. I mean, I know the world is hard on the Black man. It's hard on the Black woman, too. We are the most disrespected and unprotected in this country, and now I can't even turn to you. We went from having conversations so deep, we chose to miss sleep to choosing to barely speak, because when we argue, the words just cut so deep. Eventually, we were just alone together, sharing space while trying to keep our distance. True healing felt like uncharted territory, so we just chose the path of least resistance, but that path led us to a forest of trees that bore absolutely no fruit. Now I'm alone, forcing myself to self-reflect and atone, facing the four fingers pointing at me after years of only pointing them at you. And it's so humbling to acknowledge that due to my own deficiencies and idiosyncrasies, I was never fully available for you emotionally. Telling everyone that our breakdown came from you, realizing now that so much of our breakdown also came from me.
Not having you causes me pain. Our sudden departure from one another, after promising we remain together, how close we were. But it happened so fast. I hid from my true self and the person that I thought I was. Though I couldn't see past my own selfish ambitions, you constantly asked me to hear you. However, I learned later too late. I comprehended, but didn't listen. It's so easy to distort the truth, unable to keep a clear vision. Truth be told, I know I needed to change, but I stayed and prayed your love would make my eternal pains fade away. I feared your strength and the power that I lacked. I asked myself many times, when did we become detached? Strangers in a room together, but the world around us, they showed us envy. They called us the perfect match. Out in public in front of the masses, smiles and blissful passion, a riot inside my mind, scared to commit and I couldn't get past it. And I left you self-reflecting. Did we have love or growing disaster? My past trust issues haunted me. I looked for reasons we wouldn't last, knowing your love can drive us to an eternity, but still felt one day we crashed. And I know you felt that pressure. Our relationship just seemed to end. Seems like I got too comfortable not developing our future, because we were so close as being friends. I never meant to hurt you, so I buried myself in work, thinking time can mend the differences, eventually break down resistance. when you only asked me for growth, and I love to be consistent, and it didn't. Now I'm stuck grieving the loss of your love and affection, stuck with all this baggage, praying I learn how to release it. A love would keep evading me if I never learn how to keep it, so I'll pray.
I wish it didn't have to come to this, but I'm of those who submit.
What we had was not in vain. It's just what we chose to do with it.
It seems like we both have some things within us that we need to heal and address.
Or we can keep ignoring them and hurt the ones who come next.
And what about us and all the time that we had invested?
My sister, when I told you I'll always be there for you, I meant it. I am no resentment, no grudge. I am grateful, despite the outcome. There was a moment in time that we loved.
Thank you, Adam. So, does anyone know what a meet cute is? It's when you meet somebody in a really cute way, right? So, I'm a little bit of I'm in love with love. I dream, eat, and sleep rom-coms. So this poem is dedicated to my love of love and rom-coms, because there's always a meet cute in a rom-com, right? And it's called Meet Cute. I'm still waiting to have my meet cute. Instead, my experiences have been more of a meet crazy. Meet weird, meet strange, meet wounded soul, meet broke, meet poor, meet broke, and meet lazy. I would like to have that moment in the grocery store, standing over in the produce aisle. And as I'm trying to see which avocado is ripest, our eyes meet, and then arrives the uncontrollable smile. Or maybe he'll be my Amazon driver, and as I get my package, he'll ask me to sign. And as he hands me the pen, we can see right then we are meant to see each other another time. Or maybe I'll run into an old flame, and soon as we see each other, we can instantly feel the heat. We start reminiscing about all the good old times, and we realize right then we are always meant to be. So as you can see, I kind of got this whole meet cute thing down packed. I mean, I've been practicing the whole thing in my mind. I got jokes, I got lines, I got scripts, just in waiting for that perfect moment in time. I mean, I've even tried dropping a few things on the ground, just hoping that my soulmate will walk by. And as we both bend over to pick it up, we are instantly entranced as we lock eyes. But what I dropped just stayed on the ground. Everyone just walked right on by. And as I bent down to pick it up, there was no one there to lock eyes. So could it be that all the movies have been lying, feeding us these false moments of blissful amour? I mean, I need someone to tell me the truth, because I can't keep dropping things on the ground anymore. My 40-year-old back is not feeling it, but my heart still prays for a chance that one magical moment will happen instead of years of hell knows and can'ts. And no, I don't have any facts, stats, or data to substantiate what I see in my mind, but reality has proven just as disappointing. So is dreaming really a waste of time? See, these dating streets are filled with so many potholes that will break the axle clean off of your heart. And then you're too wounded to even dream. And aren't dreams where all great things start? So I will continue to wait on my meet cute. I hope it comes before I'm old and gray. And we meet at the senior center
wheeling down to bingo one day. And as we win, he shouts, "I got bingo!" And his dentures fly across the room into my hand. And as he flashes me a toothless grin, I know then that he's literally about to be my old man. And while I pray it does not take that long, maybe I could come out of dream world into the real world a little bit more and engage with real life humans on purpose, because I can't keep dropping things on the ground anymore. But I'm still open for a good old me cute. I mean, how awesome really would that be? How will true love manifest for me? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Until then, I'll be waiting on my meet cute. Thank you. Thank you all. So before we close with our final poem of the night, I would like to take a moment to thank Jason, Cohen, the Maltz, the sound crew, the stage crew, and essentially everyone who had a part in making this night happen. We are ever grateful, and we want to thank you. We are grateful. So also, if you are interested, all of our information is inside of the manuals for booking. If you want to contact us for anything, our information is inside of the program manuals. Thank you. So you may have heard me kind of allude earlier that I was in love with love. I love love so much that I write poems for weddings. I'm a wedding poet. I need to surround and immerse myself in love all the time. And so this poem is called Pure Love, and I wanted to end the night on love because while many may think there are other emotions that are stronger, love is the most powerful, and it also conquers all. So this poem is called Pure Love. Basking in the true power of God as He guides our steps. Each passing day proving true is a manifestation as to how well God knows better than us what it is that we need. Perfection will never be attained by either one of us, but as time passes, our imperfections and the reality of our mere humanity is brought forth for both of our eyes to see. There is nothing stronger than true love in all of its divine purity. We will not walk this road with rose-colored glasses. No blinders will be provided on this ride because I need to see it and feel it all every step of the way and be present in every emotion that my heart can feel when I'm with you, because loving you and being with you has proven to be the only way. You came into my life in a way that I could have never have predicted. And while you accept me for who I am, you will never accept me for being any less than the best that I can be. And when I'm feeling low, you remind me of my greatness. There is nothing like the feeling of being with someone who sees the absolute best in me. I never knew that being with someone could ever be this easy. We crossed each other's paths so many times before, only to be brought together when God Himself knew we were ready. Ready to give each other exactly what it is that He knew we would need. I'm so happy to finally be paired with someone who is a giver in a world filled with so much greed. Showing me a part of true love that in my past I never knew existed. Slowly but surely, intentionally and divinely, I put one foot in front of the other, walking into the world of you and me, the joining together of not just us, but our entire families, creating a whole new unit of strength. I can't wait for the next steps on this journey. You showed me things in this life that I could have never have seen before with my two eyes. You've taken the time to redefine. You treated me like your work of art and drew outside of all of my self-created lines and made love exist again, even in the damaged and abused parts of my mind. Reminding me that love is more than just a word. They are actions, actions that take my breath away each and every time. I am so happy to be with you. How sweet it is to simply be in love by you. All the people in the whole entire world, and God brought me to you. Sometimes tears come to my eyes when I think of you. So many people search their entire life for a love that is even half as true. You've touched my heart. You've kissed my spirit. You walk with me through the sunshine, the snow, the hail, and the rainfall too. All the people in the world. And God brought me to you. Forever, eternity, and infinity sound like my own piece of heaven when I get to spend it with you. See, I was always meant for you, and you was always meant for me. The journey together of our two lives sets my entire soul free, so thank you for giving me a place with you. I may not be perfect, but I will always be true. No thinking or wondering if it is right. I am of those who know you have my heart, you have my mind, my body, and my soul. Please, don't let go.
Thank you.
Thank you all once again for coming. As you go back into your lives, I challenge you to show more love to each other. Be more vulnerable with each other. And if you have a gift or a talent that you are blessed with, then bless the world with your gift. The world can always use more gifts.